Hello everybody and welcome to a mod showcase for Gecko's Magic, a mod that I just made. First, we have geckos. These are, there is a total of 5 variants that you can find throughout the world. You have your black geckos, sand geckos, cat geckos, orchid geckos, and the tokay gecko. You can use glow berries to tame geckos that you find in the world, and you can have them sit. But probably something that will help you out in for the rest of the content is you can give them food. They will eat it and then drop scales. The amount the amount is varied, so you can get one scale or you could get a couple of scales. Now, scales are used for crafting the scaled table, which is the guidebook for this mod. With it, you can view all of the stuff. There's more than likely going to be more tabs or entries being added as time goes on for new versions. And there, as you can see, there's other things. Here we have enchantments, effects, and this third one is the new system, alchemy. And the alchemy stand is made similar to a brewing stand, using cobblestone, and instead of a blaze rod, you use a breeze rod. And with the alchemy stand, you need to make glass vials. And these are what you're going to use to actually make things. This is the GUI. Here you input your blaze powder for fuel, and here is where you have your 3 elixirs. Here is where you input ingredients, but instead of just directly going to the elixirs, instead it goes to this little scroll area. If we just grab these and place those there and add the ingredients, you'll see there's these. These are essences. Essences allow for much more, or allow for easier storage, and also allow you to have multiple things be associated to a single ingredient. For example, you would use either the pointed dripstone, or you would use ice to get essence of water. And as you can see, nothing's happening. That's because first we're going to need fuel that I forgot to put in. But now it needs a power source. This is so you can more easily control it, and this list will allow you to select different things. I did not mean to click it. That's just going to make it take longer to brew. Oh, you teleported to me. And now that we've got this, which, if you've noticed, this looks different from a awkward potion. This has a prefix of awkward and then what it is, which is the water. And now if we just add essence of luck, there will be a change. It's going to take a moment. And now we have awkward elixir of leaping, which elixirs can stack up to 16. This is This allows for easier storage of the elixirs. And the reason for the naming convention actually will have to wait because that requires something that's is going to be shown in a bit. And there is a total of 37 essences. Most can store up to 100, but a few, like essence of flowing, essence of lingering, and essence of sturdy, it can only hold up to 50. There are many items that are used for getting the elixirs. The guidebook will show you what the main one is, and then you can use EMI to check to see, andesite is used for making slurry essence, just like these other stone variants. And now, here is a new enchantment. This is fast reel. You can have up to 3, and it increases the velocity of your fishing rod, which can allow for for you to easily move mobs, or if you're in PvP, you could hook your opponent and yank them to be behind you. Yank, is that a word? Yoink. You know, I probably shouldn't be reading news before I record a video, because I just mixed up a Yankee and yoink. Okay, now that's little thing is out of the way. There are many types of elixirs. You have your regular elixirs, which just give you the effect. There's splash elixirs, which works just like splash potions. Oop. And lingering elixirs. They work just like lingering potions. And then buttered elixirs allow you to drink much faster than a regular elixir. Now, this is a clear elixir. Clear elixirs are it's impossible to tell what it is, which, as you can see, it just says basic elixir of water with no effects and no coloration. So, like you just got invisibility until you actually drink it. The next is the uninteresting elixir. You won't know what its name or effects is, but you can still see the description, which lets you know that this is a weakness. And then there is the bland elixir. You can see the name and the effects, but not the color, which could be useful if you like psychological warfare during PvP, because your opponents won't know that what you think is in fact poison. And then this last one is a diffusing elixir. And this might look like something that you don't want to drink, but it's actually it clears effects. And how this works is, let's say you have a weakness 5 for 10 minutes, and you have this diffusing elixir. Since this only has weakness 1 for 4 minutes, it will subtract 1 level from the effect, and will take 4 minutes off of the time. So you'll need multiple diffusing elixirs to clear your weakness. And now that this is out of the way, here's the elixirs tab in the creative menu. This uses Fractal, a library that adds subgroups for item groups. it is extremely useful. And you might notice there is a lot of blue here, and the reason for that is that you have your basic, awkward, thick, mundane, but then there is many others. And these are all of the prefixes are named after, or are given from what was the original Minecraft brewing system with cauldrons. There was going to be all of these different names. There was also going to be buttered, clear, uninteresting, and bland. But I decided that those would be much more fun as actual elixirs that have special effects. And while most of these are not usable, I am hitting you right now. There is no use, and there is a recipe. There is ways to go about that. And what it is there, the recipe system for this, or the alchemy system, because it is not kept in the recipes folder, but in an alchemy folder, there are 4 types of alchemical recipes. There is your elixir recipe, which allows you to turn an elixir into a different elixir using an essence. The next one is the item recipe, which takes an item and an essence and turns it into a different item with it while keeping the effects. And third is probably where things get interesting, is custom. It allows you to take a generic potion and then brew it into a custom elixir with your own effects. You would not want to drink that. And then the fourth recipe is advanced, which allows you to take a custom recipe and a custom elixir and to turn it into a different custom elixir. Meaning that the entire alchemy system is data-driven, mostly. These essences are hard-coded. However, you are able to change the textures if you so wish. There is, in fact, essences have a special resource file specifically for it, which has the main texture, its fill texture, and the size of each. The reason for the size being needed to be known is so that way it can size it correctly. If you don't have it there, it will default to if you don't have the sizes there, it will just default to 16, which or 16 for the outer one and 10 for the inner one. And then if you leave out those, or the actual textures, if I remember correctly, it should just use the default texture. I am going to use it down. Now, here is 3 new effects. The first one is Lizard Brain. When you have it, you are forced to crawl, just like the geckos that you find and befriend. It is both great if you're strip mining, but also very useful in PvP because it can stop your opponents from trying to get away. And let me just do that. Here is the next one. I am going to grab a golden carrot real quick. Okay, here is a husk. Punch me. Okay, only did a heart. Now, here's vulnerability. This house is doing a lot more damage and actually will kill me. Okay, go. And you know what? That's going to cause issues later. And vulnerability makes you take more damage. However, you cannot just brew the effect. You have to get it from fighting Ravagers, which it has a lower chance to drop than what normal loot would have. Like, it's quite rare. And this next one is Potion of Absolutely Not. This name was, when I was trying to figure out a name, a friend gave a few suggestions, and this was the one that stuck the most. And so now, let's just set it to night, so that way Phantom and Creeper Okay, I guess it targeted me before I actually drink it. While you have this effect, mobs with phantoms and creepers will not attack you. It works similar to how an ocelot works, or a cat, except those usually just make noises when around phantoms and not scare them. And that's all the effects. And, alright, completely forgot. The reason for these there being many different ones, or prefixes, is so that way you can make your own if you so wish, just like these two, which will not be included in the mod for obvious reasons, but you'll be able to make your own. And mods can, and if you're a mod developer, you can in fact add your own essence and elixirs. And if you so wish, you could just implement the brewings, or implement it's just using recipes and existing existing essences because of because of how many elixirs there are. There's basically an infinite amount of things that you can do. And if you want information, you can learn more about the enchantments or any of the essences, the elixirs, alchemy itself, and the 3 effects. And that really was the entire mod. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and that if whether you were using it to be background noise, or if you have it on so you can learn about the mod. No matter what, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Okay, if you're still here, I wanted to show you a little secret. Geko, there is a secret Geko variant called insurance. See if you can figure out what's that reference. And okay, Now I'm all done. Goodbye.